That's a surprise. Good morning. How are things in your part of the world? We got to go through commercial first. Oh, my commercials are two different ones. One is a Planet Fitness, and the other one is a Obama Prop 50 commercial. Interesting. Skip. And we should be on both of these now. Okay. All right. Should be on about the same spot. Okay. Problem is when I got my computer on and my TV on, the TV's about 3-4 seconds behind the computer one, so it's kind of odd. So we're going to do something different today, and watching Jamie the other day doing a turning at Boondocks wood turnings, he didn't have a chuck, and I was saying, well, you can use a glue up chuck, so I thought I would do one this morning. This piece of wood has been intriguing me for about 2 weeks. So I figured now is as good a time as any to try it out. But we also have this today. And this is some of that pear wood. And I don't know if you can see the colors really well, but they're really interesting. Almost looks like a sunset going down, right? So I'm going to turn these two blocks. I think I'm going to make a couple of candlesticks, hopefully. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Just something a little bit different. Don't want you guys getting bored with watching the same old thing all the time. So, all right. So how we got? We got 23 people in here now. My back was a little tweaked out yesterday, but I'm much better today. Hi, Drift. You made some beautiful stuff today. Well, I hope you're going to share it on your channel, Mike, because we'd like to see some of that, you know. Okay. I'm gonna, just so you guys can see that we are live. Excuse me just a brief second while I vacuum up my helmet. Make sure that my helmet's filters are clean. What do we got in here? Picture cast blanks and some bolt. Wow. Okay, cool. So you're casting your own now, or did you buy the cast? Hi, Stefan. Okay, we're gonna get started here in a minute. I was just waiting for some people to catch up with us. Didn't want to just start off, you know, and have everybody kind of behind things. So, yeah, please hit the like button. I see we got quite a few people in here now, so mask with blurry vision is on. I don't know if I can clean that out a little bit. Oh yeah, that's much worse. So what we have here is I have a glue on. I have a piece of cork oak, and this cork oak is something that you saw me turning a few days ago. This was a small piece. You can see this is only about a little over an inch thick. Okay, and what I've done is I glued a flat block. I sanded this down really good. I put a couple scratch marks in it so the glue will actually go in. I put glue on the plate here and on the wood both. Squished it down till it's nice and tight. I put in a couple of retaining screws just to kind of hold on. It's going into the cork. It's really not going to show anywhere. I just put a couple on there just to kind of hold it down. And then I went with hot glue all around the edges. And you want to do that just to make sure you got a really good, firm, solid hold. And this should, quote unquote, not come off in the process of turning. Now, that's not always the case, but, and I know you guys come here for the car crashes, so we'll attempt to do this. Now, what I'm thinking of doing, and you can see on the outside here, now see this side had mostly bark. It was closing in, it's a closing in piece here, okay, on the edge of the wood. So I'm hoping to turn the dish in here. I think I'm going to leave the square points and all the bark on as best I can if I can get this to stay on, and that's a little bit of an if, but if I can do that, I'm going to take and do a circle right in here, make a little scooped out bowl, then make a little nice little candy dish or something like that out of it. We'll see, but when you start something like this, you're not quite sure where it's going to end up. You just kind of have to go with the flow a little bit, and we'll see. Hi Posada, hi Tori, and Madhu. Welcome to all of you, and we're going to have some fun here, so stick with me. I'm going to put my tool rest up here. I'm going to put my banjo on, I should say. Okay. This is called the banjo. This is the tool rest. And in this particular case, I think I'll take this one off. And we'll just put the straight one on here. I think that's all we're going to need for this. Let's see what happens here as we're turning. Now it is a little bit off kilter, just a little bit. It's a little bit high on one side. That's okay. We'll figure that out as we go. Put some light on the subject. Okay, make sure you guys can all see that pretty well. We'll get in a little bit closer here if we can. Bear with me. There we go. See if we can get you in a little bit closer. And I think I'm going to use a carbide tool for this just to start with, just to be fun. Okay. So it's spinning. There we go. And I'm a little high, so I'm going to bring my rest down just a bit. That should be a bit better. There we go. First we want to kind of just straighten this out. Make sure it's kind of flat. This is just to make sure that everything stays flat and even. It's not to make any kind of turning in here. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a little mark here so I know about where my outer edges are. And we'll see if I can make anything of that. Okay, so if I go to the inner one first, you can see a little bit off. Do the inner one. Just make an impression. Okay, turn that off. And see, I'm getting right to the bark there, and I'm just not quite the bark. But you can see that is going to get to it. It's just that this is a little bit lower here. So I think we're in about the right spot. So we're going to clear this out. Yeah, I'm doing this for all those people who say I don't use carbides or that I have something against carbides. I don't. You can certainly use a carbide. I'm going to switch it here in a second and show you something else too. This is using a carbide. Okay. And this oak is turning very nicely. It's still pretty green. So that's part of the reason why it's getting a nice turn out of it. I don't want to put too much pressure on that. Wow. It curlies up there pretty quickly. Okay. Now we can kind of see what it looks like. And that's pretty good. I like that, I think. I may come out here and straighten this out just a little bit. But I think to do that, I'm going to use this. Because it can do a real good job. See how it's kind of bouncing on there? That means that it's a little uneven. I think what we can do with the outside bark is make a slow, gradual drop into the bowl. If I do this right. But I got to get this pretty straightened out first to do it. So it kind of looks like it's falling in to the bowl. This nice smooth transition here. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, starting to make a little bit of a transition there. So I think I can pick it up a little bit more in speed. We'll get the rest of it with sanding later. Please, if you can, hit the like button, or if you feel like it, subscribing. It does help the channel. We try and do a couple of these a week at least, plus all the other helpful videos and shorts that we put out. I've got, let's see, over 160 videos on the channel now. There's a little something for everyone to watch in there. Yeah, see, I'm starting to get that cleaned off a little bit. It's starting to slope in a little bit. So, okay, I think I hate to try this, but I'm going to try it. Just because I'm crazy that way. See if that carved out more of that. Yeah, see, I'm starting to get that in there now, so that's what we're going for. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Using the scraper, and like this, and then go down into the bowl. And then start getting our bowl. Now that's getting pretty smoothed out. Great. This is good. This is what I wanted. Okay. Yeah, very careful. Slide that blade all the way in. Like that. Turn in. And that's where we'll start making our bowl now. There we go. Thank you, guys. That's coming along pretty good. Makes some nice curls, doesn't it? Yeah, that'll slowly work its way down. Okay, now we can start seeing how that cup is developing. Yeah. What do you think so far? Lokenton, Buck Score, Stanislav, Gilmar. Hey, Robert G. Hey, Ryan. Hi. How you doing? Hey, Ryan had a great live the other day. I hope you guys caught it, and he'll have some more soon. So make sure you check out 77 Rockets. In fact, check all of them. They're in my description area. Check out all my friends there, if you would, please. So the plan, Robert, is I'm taking this piece of cork oak and I'm going to turn this into a shallow bowl and leave these corners, these wings. And then later on, I'm going to be working on these pieces of pear. I got 2 pieces here. And if all goes well, I'll be able to turn maybe a couple candlesticks. We are getting near the holidays. Candlesticks are very popular. I know I got a couple little cracks I got to deal with in there, but I think that's the other thing we're going to do today. So let's get into this. I'm going to slow that down just a hair. I don't need a lot of speed. The way this is turning, it's green wood. I don't really need the speed so much. I just need the control. As I said earlier, you can use multiple different tools. You can use a scraper. Just kind of shape that a little bit in there. Scraper does a very fine job. These Benjamin best scrapers that I know some of us like to use. They're a great deal. I get no sponsorship from this at all. I just tell you, they're a really good deal. They do an exceptional job, as you can see right here. You just have to learn how to make sure you sharpen your blades properly and learn how to handle the scraper. But once you do, you can see that you can make a very fine turning out of it. Now I'm going to do just a little thickness check here just to see where I'm at. Now, this is only an approximation, but it says I'm about a half an inch, maybe a little less than a half an inch from the bottom. So I can go a little bit deeper. And I want to make it aesthetically looking, nice. So now we got a nice, reasonably sized bowl here now. So it's just a matter of depth. Nice thing about using a scraper like this is it leaves it a nice smooth bottom as it goes. I'm just out of curiosity, and I don't need to do this, but I just want to do it. I just want to see what a giant scraper would do. You could probably do just about the same technique, but it's not quite as aggressive, which is because of the angle that I put on this. But it does cover a surface area a little bit, and it's very steady. The nice thing about a heavy tool like this is it does not bounce at all. It stays very steady to the rest. And also because it's a little bit thicker, I think my rest is a little bit offside, so I'll go back to using this one because that lines me up a little better with the center. See how that's looking. And we're getting down near that bark on the other side there, so I don't want to go too far. See, I see a little bit of bark right here. Okay, so let me kind of just get this cleaned off on the side. And I think that's all we're going to do here, because I don't want to go any deeper and risk going too deep, because it is a green bowl still. Yeah, I'm starting to get bark showing through right here and right here, so I know I'm getting into that section. Okay, so now we just need to kind of clean up this outer edge a little bit. Again, we don't want to get crazy with it. The last thing we want to do is lose something at this point. I can always sand down what I need to sand down. Okay. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. So pull these out of the way. Get this out of the way. Okay, let me get my sander here and we'll clean this up a little bit. And if you can, make sure you please hit that like button. I have about 27 likes in here, it looks like right now, so could use a few more. I realize this is an unscheduled event. Well, kind of scheduled, I did it at the last minute. Thursday is our normal live, and we will be back Thursday. I do promise that. Kind of get this. And I don't want to lose that. See, that's really loose right there. I'm going to have to get a little glue on that. I'm going to do the outside edge a little bit too on here. But I kind of like the rough cut. But because this is near the sapwood, it's pretty soft. It sands off pretty easily. And at least take off the top edges a little bit there. And we'll do the one on the other side here. Okay. Bear with me here. This is the sanding part that you got to do. I'll try not to subject you to too much of it. I can finish off a little of this off camera later on. So I just want to smooth that out a little bit. Okay. Still got all this. Okay. Now for the inside here. Okay. Like that. Good. Now we use the thicker grind. We can go to the smaller grind or the higher grit. I'm going to put this in reverse. Yeah. This there. And this is pretty much what I envision. Like I said, you never know when you start with a piece like this what you're going to end up with when you start turning it. But the glue held, as you can see, so that's good. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. We'll go up to the 240 here. And let's concentrate on this inside edge part. Alright, I think we're ready to put a little finish on this. Like I said, later on I'll go back and try and fix that, make sure that cork is well attached, but this might help right here. Let's see. Okay. Take that off. Okay. Make sure we're well mixed. And let's take a look and see what this does. This will not change the color much of the wood, because it's a pretty neutral color. And that's all right. You can, if you want, get ones that have a slight staining to them, staining quality to the finishes. But for now, I'm just going to leave this neutral. Let's see what comes out of this. Now the bark, on the other hand, will pick up a color. It will be a little bit darker. And it'll also absorb a lot of this tongue oil that I'm putting on. Right now I'm just doing the edges. We'll do the cork last. Okay. And you can see it's already drying out on here. Even though this is kind of green wood. And this may warp some on me. It might still do that. And that's okay. I can live with that because it's an unusual piece to begin with. You kind of just want it to do what it wants to do, and that's okay with me. But love using this brush to get into all these nooks and crannies in the bark. It does help quite a bit. And it will strengthen. It will eventually strengthen that bark a little as it gets in there and settles in. Okay. So I don't know if Jamie will get a chance to watch this, but this is kind of Jamie from Boondocks inspired this a little bit. He didn't have a chuck for his turning the other day, and I suggested he do a glue up face plate. He did okay with what he had. He really did. He did a great job. But this is another great technique. I use it, kind of regularly on a lot of different pieces where I don't have a way of getting a base attached to it or to make a tenon. If I'd have made a tenon on this, it would not have. I would not have had any room for a bowl. So I saved the piece by doing a glue-on tenon. There we go. I don't know if you can see that real good. I'll try and get in here for a better shot. You can kind of see the bark, how that looks. Pull it back a little bit too, but that's just the first coat here. I'm going to take that off of there. So I can stand it up. And there we go. There we are. Now you can see what it looks like on the screen here. And we'll put another little coating in here. And we'll call this one done for now. So I can get to add it later and do a little sanding on the back side, and like I said, fix the cork edge here a little bit. You need to hold it here. Do it. So this is just a quick little project. I hope you like this one. And if you did, please, again, please hit that like button or double tap the screen. Whatever it is you have to do to give us a like, I'd really appreciate it. There. Yeah, that bark's going to look really nice when it's all done here. So, there you have it. And that's our first project. I'm going to take the helmet off for just a second. Whew. You like that, huh, Mike? Hey, hi, Pepper. I haven't seen Pepper before. Yeah, I'm in the States. I'm in California, actually. If that helps. So it's only just past 11 a.m. here. So we are spreading ourselves across a wide span of the world. I'd like to hear, is there anybody from Europe or Africa, Asia? Where are you all from? I mean, always fun to find out. We've had people from all parts of the world. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here before we go on to the next project. Pardon my vacuuming. Trusty vacuum cleaner. Okay. I tuned up my vacuum the other day. It's almost too strong now. It sticks to the cement floor sometimes when I'm doing it. And my pads that I have here for cleaning. That is a powerful little vacuum. I don't think he calls him anything except come to my supper plate. Okay, I'm going to give this a little bit of a wipe for now. That lemony seam that I put in the tongue oil really smells nice. Okay, so there's our first bowl, and I hope you guys like that one. It'll go through a little bit more work. I think it's pretty nice. Okay. Be interesting to see just how close did I get to the bottom there. I think I probably could have gone another 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch if I really tried. So these now, the easiest way to do these is in a spindle mode. We're going to switch to spindle mode. Which is something I don't often do on here. So give me just a second to get this all set up with the proper ends. That should do it. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So I'm going to I'm trying to think which way I'd like to have this, because these cracks are going to be something to deal with in this one. But I want to keep that look, and I want them to be relatively the same, but they both have cracks in that same area. See here? That's the two pieces. And they both have those cracks. So They may not go all the way through, that's the thing. But I need to have them not deep enough so that I can make a circle here and have a, yeah, okay. Well, we'll try our best. Let's see. This is not quite straight on this end. You know what? I'm going to turn it from this end because I think this is a straighter bottom part. Yeah, I'll do it that way. Okay, so finding the center, approximately. Paint it here. And these are not perfect squares or anything, but I will use them as my lines to get the center of this piece. Like that. And that. So the center's right there. And on this one, we'll go right here. Right there. So that's the center of this one. And that won't be perfect, but it'll be close enough. Because we're going to be rounding them out anyway. So, I guess I should do both sides. That'd be easier. I'll mark both sides. That way I can put them on both spindles. No problem. I won't have to go back and fix that later. So there's this one. And this way. Okay. Got this one over for this one. And sorry. Try to stay in the camera. Okay, so we got both squares. And we're going to keep them oriented. We're going to do one at a time. So I'll start with this one that seems to have the biggest problems. Put that in here. I'll bring up my tailstock. Here. And we will set it like so. And like so. And I think I can just press that in, I think. I can. Great, okay. That should press it. Let's see if I can get it to turn. Yep, it turns. Good. All right, now okay. We got 400 here. So guys, I'm gonna need to step outside for just a second to answer something, and then I'll be right back. Just talk amongst yourselves for like 30 seconds or so. I will be right back. And if I don't drop everything in the process. Here. Sorry about that. All the porch pirates out there nowadays, when something comes to the door, you want to make sure you get it right away. So, apologize for that little interruption. But looks like we got everything here. I'll put on my helmet. And let's see what we're going to turn with this. We're going to use for this. Get the speed up. So this is using a gouge. That's not really the most effective way to do something like this on a spindle. You can use something like this. And this nice and steady. A little bit centered there better. The key to these is do this where you're not hitting anything. Bring it down until you start seeing flakes coming off. And that's the angle you want to stay at. Because you're not trying to gouge stuff out of there. You're not trying to take out big pieces. You just right now you can try and trim it a little bit. If you're going to use a gouge, you really want to come in from the end. But with this kind of wood, I'm not sure if we can get underneath it and come in from the end. I suppose I should have tried it. We are starting to get some roundness here. Now see, it's not even hitting this side. It's hitting here. It's taking a lot off here and some off here. It's not hitting here, so we weren't exactly in the center. We were close to the center. Okay, so I also didn't tighten this up on there, so that will help a little bit. Pick up the speed a little bit more. That's how we're doing that bouncing motion. So with this heavy, oops. Roughing down right here. It doesn't bounce hardly at all. I can do it without my other hand. I can just do it like this. You can do it one-handed, really. Whoa. And now when I start to lose little pieces, I can't. We just lost a chunk. See what we lost. Yeah, we lost a chunk right here, so that's going to decide how I shape this one. It just predetermined now how we're going to shape this candlestick. It did the work for me. That's why I said sometimes you can't with a knife with a complete idea. Oops. Because you might have to alter. So right now I'm just kind of going with it. So we get closer to the round. starting to hit this side now. We're starting to hit all four corners. Okay, good. I don't want this to be too thin. I'm going to go back to the small gouge here. I'm going to get a little closer. Let me get closer here. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit. There we go. That's a little better approach. Good. I'm going to take this very small gouge. See if I can get in there now. It may not be, I might want to use slightly bigger. There we go. There we go. Let's see how close I am. Well, we still got quite a bit here. Okay. Then we're going to plan B here. If I can keep it from rattling, this is much faster enough to round it out. See how we're coming now. Little flat spot there. And that's about it. So good. We're getting in there now. Push up a little closer. Let's see if I can do this. time here, just to, so I'm not trying to take too much off at once. Pretty rough, but that's pretty close. Okay, we're basically at round. Okay, and I don't want to get too aggressive on the rounding, so we will use my bullnose scraper here to start to smooth this out. That gets us a lot smoother. Okay, that still got a little bit of lumpiness to it, but it's getting close. Now I can go to this one. Bring it out. It's kind of a negative rate scraper of sorts. Usually I'm going to hit the high point. Straighten that out at the bottom so it's not. How we're doing now. Well, that's looking pretty nice now. Look at that pretty wood. You can see that. We're going to have that chip. We're going to have to deal with that little part there. But you now have a basic shape. I'm going to try and keep this turned up a little bit. Flat top. straight lines I can use to sand off later. Okay, good. Good. Alright, now as far as the cracks go, I don't see any. I'm going to make sure I get that. Okay, so now, try the design. What are you guys doing, talking about over here? Let's see. Yeah, got me moving from aardvarks. Do you need special chisels, different speed techniques? I have 100-year-old fence posts would really like to turn them, but they are so hard they destroy blades just for trying to cut them. Well, yes, first of all, you will need to have sharp tools. That's number one. And the second thing I would say is that you need to, obviously learn a little technique if you haven't used the lathe. But if you're going to cut them down into pieces and then make something out of them, blocks of wood, I'd say spindle work is probably the easiest, because even though it's really hard wood, even if it's we have some really hard woods here, like ironwood and some others, and manzanita. Manzanita is very hard. You can make hammers out of manzanita. It's so hard. It's very dense desert wood. And what you have to do is you have to take your time with it. Take off very little part. Don't try and take too much off at once. You may have to go back and resharpen your tools quite often. I did a black palm. If you go on my channel, you'll see me turning a black palm, and it has a lot of silica in it, and that dulls your blades really quick. But yeah, you've seen me use a lot of different kind of tools, because I'm trying to show you a lot of different techniques here. You can use gouges, come in from the bottom or the top, and cut through it. We did. You can also use scrapers. You can use all sorts of different devices for turning the wood. So yes, you can shape almost anything short of a rock, and I've even seen guys do some rock. So yeah, it is possible to do. So now, looking at how I want to shape this, I've got to get rid of that. So somehow I've got to make a little indentation. I'll put this out of my hand for a moment. So let me use my small spindle gouge here, and I'll see if I can't work something out here. Maybe make a shoulder. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so I basically took that out of there. So I don't want to lose this look of this wood here. So I'm thinking of making a flute, which is where you come down like so, and then you're going to come down from here. I can't go too deep because I'm going to have a candle in here. And we want this to kind of be a nice, sweet, up and under. Like that. So kind of a little milk, like a little bit like a milk can in a sense, but that's okay. It's just the start of this.
Okay. And we'll sand that out and make that look nice. And then we want to do a little bit of decoration down here too. So I think. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use a different tool for this. I'm sorry. Whoop. There we go. Maybe that here. And then we'll do another one a little bit further up here. And then the fourth one right about here. And I think I'm going to have to do one right about here. Now, I can do one on the shoulder here. Let's see. This is for my own amusement anyway, so what the heck. By amusement, I mean that if I can't sell it, my wife ends up with it. I can still do something with it. And see, it's forming a little crack right there. I got to be careful of, because this wood, once you start releasing things, other cracks can show up. So we're just going to use this as just an experiment. So no harm, no foul here. Let's sand this up a little bit and see what we got. Oh, let me turn this dust collector on here for a minute. And it's already looking nicer. Turn it in reverse. There you look again. after all the sanding here, we want to have a really nice smooth finish on this. Okay, that was 240. I'm going to go up to 400 on this one. You'll notice there's a lot less dust coming off of it now. 400 is almost to the polishing level. Light showing up there. Okay, so we've gone down from a block that looked like this to this. See, the first one's the easy one, just so you know. Cleaning out before I go through that. Want to make sure there was no dust or something in there. Okay. Now I'll put a little finish on it. Turn it on. And take my helmet off for a minute. Okay. And we'll put some of this on here and just watch how this starts to pop up. What do you think? That's what it's starting to look like. I want to get down to the grooves. Tell you, that pear is a really nice, pretty wood to turn. Look at that, as fast as I put that on, this is already dry. This is already dry. So I just have to keep brushing it, brushing it. till it stops soaking it in. But it does keep sucking it in. What do you think of that? It's not seem to look like, I'm not sure what you mean, Odmar. I'm making a candle, yes. It's not even close to being finished as a candle holder yet. I still got to drill a hole in the inside, put a brass candle holder inside it, and then it will be a candlestick holder. But for now, it's just a pretty round object, and that's all I was trying to get to at this point, because I'll have to put it on the drill press to do the or either that, or I'll have to do it on here. But I'm going to have to put it on and drill it in from this side here, only to a certain depth. So, and that'll be a separate issue, because I don't want to. It's a lot to set up right now to do that, just that. And I have a second one of these to do. Now the question is going to be, can I make it match the first one? And I may not. I may go back and curve these out or something. I don't know. That's why I'm not too worried about, how it's looking yet, because I may still go back and redo this shape depending on how the other one comes out. There might be a crack or something in the other one that causes me to make a change in it. Then I'll have to go back and make a change in this one. So I left this a little bit on the thick side, just in case. See, when you're trying to match things up and you have somewhat uncooperative wood sometimes, that's what you have to do, is plan ahead by not planning ahead. I guess is the way to put that. Okay. It's going to keep sucking up that finish. It's already dry here again. I just went over it. As fast as I put it into that, what I'm assuming is probably the end grain, it's almost dry to the touch. And I like that I got those black stripes in there without having to use a cord or anything, just using my the parting tool to do it. So for now, that's it on this one. I'll give it a little turn around here so you can see a little better, see the colors in there. I really like these different colors that it has, especially right in here. You see how it changes from dark to light as it goes around there. So we'll hold this back, and it should come right off. Now, what's going to happen is I will put this on I'll put a little drill through here. That's right about this width. I'll show you the little cups that I have for this. I don't see them at the moment, but anyway, here they are. I'll drill a hole in, and this will go in there, and that will fit like absolutely right over that, just perfectly. And that'll go in there, and then that will hold the candle, and this will just be a little candle holder or candlestick holder. Okay. Another way of doing it is you could drill about an inch and a half hole maybe, and then you could put a votive candle in there. You can just set it in there. So that's another way of doing it if you don't have these. But however way you want to do it, that's
one candlestick. Now, the question is, can I make another one that looks like that? And that's going to be the issue. Because we're going to have to put this one up right out here and right on here. Let's see if we can get close. And I'm going to look at this and see. I might be able to save a little bit of this space here. It's far away here, it's far away here, it's close here. So if I move this just a little bit, in this direction, let's see. Now it is close, close. It's a little bit, that's a little bit better. Okay. Now let's see. I'm gonna pull back here so you can see better what I'm doing. There we go. Get this pushed in. I don't like to hammer it in because hammering it in, first of all, kind of bangs up the other end of the spindle, but also I think this just makes for a good fit. There we go. All right, now I'm worried about this, obviously right here. And we'll see how this goes. Any questions? How many hours? Well, really, it doesn't take that long. I mean, we've done two turns, and we've been on for an hour and a half, and I already did a bowl, and I did one candlestick. So, figure 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the type of wood. I mean, some woods turn so easily that you can do them in like 15 minutes. This is a little bit harder wood, and it had a couple of challenges to it. So, you know, a little bit less time for this one. Or a little bit more time, I should say, for this one. So let's get this up to speed. Okay. I'm going to start with this time. Let's see how I'm hitting. This is center right here. I'm really trying to take much off. When we get down to this end and at the other end, which means it's not quite centered. So I'm not taking anything off of here. I'm taking some off of here, taking some off of here, nothing off of here. So it is slightly off-centered, but not too bad. Probably a little closer than the other one was. Let's pick it up a little bit. The speed. And I want to be very careful because I don't want any tripping off here. We have the other one.
spot there, so I'm going to take this off and see what that odd spot is that I keep hitting. Again, like I said, I was worried about this breaking off. And, you know, I might just give that a spot of super glue just to make sure that it doesn't come off, because if that breaks off, it's going to ruin the whole look of the candlestick. So, let me do a little SCA glue here. And I keep my CA glue in my refrigerator because it will last longer that way. Okay, we're going to get that in there. Well, let me get my spray. I'm also going to do this right now while I'm thinking of it, because that's a heck of a crack right in there. See, it's chipping out a little bit right here too, so I've got to be careful with that. I think just because this is bark, I'm going to put it along this bark too. I'll hit that with a little accelerator. Okay. Hopefully, and I say that with my tongue surely in my cheek, hopefully this will work. That's set, okay, good. A little bit closer now. Get the speed. Now, one of the things you want to make sure you're doing when you're turning these, when you're making a pear, is you want to make sure that they're going to be the same height. Now, you can adjust height a little bit at the end by sanding down the bottom, but if you're putting like lines in like I did in the other one, you don't want to have to take off this much and then the lines don't match up. So, we're going to be doing a lot of checking against our base model, as we can call it, or our first model, to make sure that it's holding properly. So that looks good so far. Okay, I don't know if I can come in to the side on this or not. Let's see. This is a way of undercutting a lot of that flat spot. What's funny about this pear is when you get down into the dark wood like I am right here, it looks a lot like you're turning walnuts. to go, but it's coming along. Let's go back there. Still got a flat spot there. Still got a crack. Still got this in place. Still a flat spot here. So it's flat on both sides. That's good. I mean, they're pretty much symmetrical. Little shear cut. A scraper cut. Let's get that bottom. That one is flat, that's good. Okay. And I think we're just right there at that last little bit. We can probably do with a couple of shear cuts. Okay. Now we will use this tool again. Get it out of here. Whoop. Sorry. Oops, wrong one. Here, when there's a tool that you really need, it's just out of reach a little bit. So I apologize there. Okay. We will do our first measurement. I love the color in that. Okay, let's see. We are just about right on size-wise. Just about perfect there. Now, as far as thickness goes, it's got to come down just a little bit. Yeah. Better way to measure this. Good. just about right. Just about right. When I sand it down, it'll probably be just about imperceptibly different. Good. Maybe just smooth this off a little bit. Use that scraper. Maybe another pass. Not sure what that chatter is. I don't see anything that's creating chatter. It doesn't feel like it. Huh? That's okay. Alright, so now we have to figure out where do we put these lines. So, get out my pencil here. And line these up. And it's going to curve here. And come up to the shoulder right about here. So the shoulder is from here to here. And then we got lines here, 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 here. And the last one will be right there. That should give me pretty good ideas. Maybe not perfect, but pretty good ideas. If I have to take a little bit longer, I will. Let's see here. So from here down, and I think I'm going to use my marker here to mark this a little better. Right about there. Right in the same spot. Okay, now I need to make them the same depth. So I'm going to use my calipers again. And I'll measure right about there, okay. And those need to go in just a little bit more. just about perfect. Okay. We'll do a little cleaning up here. And that should be just about right. Okay. And I took my pencil mark off, so I'm going to have to put it back on again, but I wanted to make sure I got that pretty smooth. I think what I'll do is I'll actually sand that a little, then I'll mark it, and then I'll, well, no, I could, no, never mind. I'm not thinking myself here for a second, so don't let me do that. Just going to line these up. Bring the speed way down. Okay. Is that the first one? Is that the next one? Next one. Next one. The next one is right here. The last one is right here. Okay. And those should line up pretty darn close. Okay. They may be a hair off, but we'll see what happens when I'm cutting them. Okay. Still with me, guys? Need some more lights in here, I'm thinking, but so what's up? We're making candlesticks at the moment. Joaquin, hey Mike. Too many damn mics in here. Yeah, that's what it is. Sometimes there is a lot of mics in here, but that's okay. So, okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to put these little lines in, just like we did on the other one. Let me get my speed up here, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. There we go. See how they lined up with this one? Pretty darn good. Yeah, good. Alright, so far so good. Now, get this out of my way. Do a little light sanding. Put a finish on that. We'll call that project half done. Half done. Feel that crack there, but everything else is okay. Alright, you need to put this. Alright, I need to put this on again. Well, that super glue seemed to have helped where I needed it to hold. Knock on wood. Look a little bit different than the other one, but not much. Because they're from the same block. They're not going to be much different, but this one's going to have a little bit different coloring to it, I think. Even though they're right next to each other in the wood. Alright, this is ready for cutting. Take this element off, turn this off. Okay, let's put a little finish on here, and you guys will get to see what I'm talking about, okay? I know some of you that came in late are kind of going, what the heck is he turning? It looks like a milk bottle or something. And it's not. It's actually a candlestick. It's just in the early stages of being a candlestick. Okay. And I could have made a more elegant curve to it. I still have the ability to go back because I didn't do anything to this. to keep it from that. I can put it back on the spindle, and I can go back and I can make some elegant curves on it, or do whatever I want with it. But this was just kind of an experiment. I've made candlesticks in the past in all different shapes. I just wanted to see if I could do one on a live and make them duplicate. And now you can see the color coming out of that. What do you think of that color? This is pear wood. Make sure I'm getting down in each one of those crevices. It's already soaking it up, just like it did on the other piece. Make sure I get into that crack a little bit. It will harden in there. This is tung oil, so it will get inside the fibers of the wood and it will harden. And that will make it a lot easier to put a final finish on it, but it'll also protect the wood and protect me. So here we go. Here's two of them together. And you can see the other one's dried now, but they look pretty identical. So that's great. That's exactly what I was going for. And of course, you're never, unless you use a modeling piece, you're never going to have an exact duplicate. The best you can do is hope to get close. So, and that's kind of the feature of making them each by hand, is that they aren't going to be exactly the same, because they are handmade. Okay, so put a little bit more on here, since it's soaking it up. Yeah, there we go. And if you would, please hit that like button or double click the screen. I do appreciate the likes. We just wanted to do a kind of a couple quick things on the live today to kind of catch people that don't always get a chance to watch us on Thursdays. We do a live every Thursday, roughly about this time, and we'd love to have you come back and join us for that. But those we do, it's usually bigger projects, little bigger bowls, that sort of thing. I haven't quite decided yet, but I think we're going to be doing another olive piece this week. I'm still arguing with myself on that one. So maybe I'll give you guys a chance to vote on that before we're done here, and think what would you like to see. But there, that's a couple coats right now for that. I'll let that sit for just a minute. And so just drop my. Hi LJ, thanks for coming in. As you can see, I've got a couple of very talkative people here apparently. And if any of you others want to come in here, that's great. And tomorrow, I guess you know Mikey. That's good. Appreciate you coming in to see me too. I'm always catching up on Mike is making stuff. Mike is Making Stuff has an interesting channel. You should check him out sometime. A lot of these guys on here have great channels. So, Board Handcrafted Woodwork is actually Michael, and Michael he's been starting his channel recently. So please give him a check out and see how he's doing also, because he is doing some really nice work, and he's already had a couple of mistakes on there, accidents on there too. Accidents are always fun to watch. I've had a few. But I'm going to take this off of here now. And we'll clear this off just a little bit here. And we'll put these back next to each other. And there we are. We've got a set. Now, like I said, all I have to do is
drill down in here, put those little brass holders in there for the candlestick, and it'll be all set to go. I just want to put a finish on it too. I'll probably buff it out with some beeswax or something. Well, no, not beeswax, I'm sorry. I'll probably buff it out with something harder like shellac, because whatever you do, you don't want to put anything on here that's going to catch flame. Okay, so you don't want anything that's going to be flammable. That's the big thing here. So make sure whatever finish you put on a candlestick holder is of a hard finish that's not going to burn. Okay, and I always tell people, I say, look, put it in the candlestick. That's why I put the little brass candlestick holders there, because you do not want the candle getting down into the wood. You want it to get to about here, and maybe that stops so that there's no heat coming down into the wood past that, because these are going to be inside like so. Okay, so this will get sanded off on the tops. They'll get bored. We'll clean up the bottoms too, although they don't need too much. Just to take off the pencil marks more than anything else, and they'll be ready to go. But I'm pretty happy with that. They both came out right sized, and I think they'll make a nice little set of candlestick holders for somebody. They have kind of a fall coloring to them, so they might make a good something for the Thanksgiving table or holiday table, something like that. And I'm going to show you here. This is what we did earlier. And Mims, if you're in there, I think you'd appreciate this one. That's what I did earlier today. I had this 1-inch piece of wood, and we turned it into this. So this is cork oak, and I'll be taking that off and finishing the bottom of it and taking the glue off and all later on. And great. So I will be seeing you guys on Thursday, and I'm thinking of turning this olive bowl, or this olive piece, into a bowl. And what do you think? Do you think that'd make a nice one? If we do, we're going to be coming in from this side, and we're going to create a tenon here on the top, and then we will turn it around and we'll make the bowl from this side. This is all going to go away. The bark is not good enough to save as a bark or a live edge finish on this one. So yeah, we may make this into a bowl on Thursday. Okay, so I'm gonna call it a day at this point. We've been on for a couple of hours. I do appreciate all of you that have been on here, and we will see you on Thursday at about the same time, which is about 10 o'clock Pacific time. I'll be putting up a notice today for that live on Thursday, and I hope to see you all then. And LJ, thanks for coming in at the end there. I hope you got a chance to see what I made, and we'll talk to all of you soon. Thanks for being here.